Hi everyone, it's April with Hair 101 and I have Scott Jarvie here. We just got done filming a really fun beard video, how to style your beard. And so we decided to give him a straight edge shave because he's never had one before. And I have this awesome new product to try out and show you guys and give a review on. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is to make sure that they have a cape on because it can get a little bit wet with the dripping hot wet towels on their face. And I like to do a towel behind so that they have a little bit more cushion on their neck, and then one on the front of the cape. And I use the one on the front of the cape to wipe the straight edge off once it gets some gel and hair on it to keep it clean. So now that we have that, we're gonna have him lean back, and I usually have a chair that leans back and has like a barber headrest on it, but I don't have my salon and this one doesn't lean back, so he's just gonna be awesome and hang on for dear life on the edge of the chair. It's not ideal, but it's what I have. So the first thing that I do is get some towels hot with really hot water, 2 or 3, and I leave them in the sink with the water running on them so they stay hot. And then I take gel, shave gel or shaving cream, and rub it all over the area we're going to be shaving. Make sure you get it on the lip. I'm using the Easy Blade shave gel, and it really helps open the pores. The hot towels will open the pores also. I usually apply one. Once that one cools off, place another one over the face and push it down on the lip to make sure that it's getting that area, because that can be a hard spot. And once those have sat for 3 to 5 minutes and the skin's really warm, I'll do one more thick coat of the gel and apply it and massage it into all over the face. Make sure you get the lip and neck areas really well. Then you need to make sure you have a new sharp blade in your razor, and it needs to be sanitary. So you need to, once I get it all put together, you have to be really careful with this. Sometimes I use a towel to push it in so that I'm not cutting my fingers. But once it's all put together, I'll sanitize it with some alcohol, and you need to pay special attention to get the tang and the handle, and everything needs to be sanitary. Then we're going to start in section 1, and you're using a 20 to 30 degree angle, and you don't have to put hard pressure on it. You need to practice this with a balloon first to make sure that you're not cutting into the skin, and make sure you're comfortable before you try this. It does take a little bit of practice, but it's not that scary once you get going. And you have to make sure when you're shaving that you're pulling the skin tight. You can see that I'm grabbing the skin with my finger and pulling it up really tight and shaving with the grain of the hair. So the hair grows downward in this section. So that first section was freehand, and then I'm switching over on section number 2 to backhand. And you just stretch the skin, glide the blade at a 20 to 30 degree angle over the skin, and it should come off very easy. It shouldn't be pulling or tugging. If it is, you need to warm up the skin a little bit more. And then on the nose, this is kind of funny because you have to pull their nose really tight, and it looks a little funny, but it's worth it. Trust me, to get this area nice and clean, you need to stretch the skin. And it can be a little tricky to start this area, but once you get going, it's really simple. You just go all the way down the side of the lip, back to number 2. If you missed a few hairs on the edge, that's the easiest way to get them, is with your backhand. Now we're going to move on to section 4, and this is also freehand. And what I'm doing is I'm pulling the skin up over his jawline so that it's not on the roll, so that it's easier to shave off. You can see that I'm pulling it all the way up, and that is section 4. As soon as you're done with that section and you hit the side of the chin, you will go to section 5. And this is a reverse freehand. That means that you're still just holding the blade normal how you would in your hand. You're not flipping your wrist back, and you're standing behind their head and looking down over. And this is the way the hair grows right here. So that's the best way to get it. And you're gonna make sure you're pulling the skin down. You can see I'm grabbing the towel to help pull the skin tight. Sometimes it can get a little slippery, and the towel grips on a little bit better. So once that section is done and meets up with the other section, you're going to move on to your section 6. Now on this section, it is reverse hand, and you're going to be standing on the other side of their head and reaching over, and this is the best way to get the right angle, but make sure you're pulling the skin tight. And yes, I am right-handed, so if you were left-handed, all of this would be reverse, but just keep that in mind. So once we get section 6 done, and I always make sure to get the little neck hairs if you have any. Okay, so you can see now that in order to get the next section, section 7, I would have to move over to the other side of his face, and it's freehand. So it's kind of opposite as the other side of his face. And we're just gonna pull that tight and glide the blade down. You will get comfortable with this pretty quick. You just need to make sure you're doing a lot of practicing at first to get the feel for the blade and how it takes the skin, and how it takes the hair off, not the skin off. We don't want to take skin off of Jarvie's face. All right, we're pulling tight and just continuing on to the edge of his chin. The next section we will be doing is section 8, and that's very similar to how we did section 3, except for it's backhand instead of freehand. And you're also going to need to pull the nose tight, and sometimes I even ask them to tighten their lips like he's doing now, just to help open that up. There we go. Now we're getting the nose, and you can see that that gets right in there in that little area that's hard to reach sometimes. So you can see a little bit by his lips that there's still a little bit of hair that we can't get. I go back over to section 7 and finish it up with the freehand there. Now I'm going to do section 9, and that is also backhand, and you're doing the stretching of the skin to make sure you're not shaving on that round part of his chin. And you move across that section of the face until that roll by his chin and all the way over to his ear. Then we're going to switch it up and do freehand on section 10, but it's reverse freehand again because you're standing behind them and going up, and you can also once again use the towel if you need to get a little bit more grip. Sometimes, like now, I didn't need to use the towel and I needed to get a little bit more stretch, but it's all up to you. And you can see a little bit of the neck hairs lower that I think I get later on, hopefully. Okay, once we get section 10 done, we're going to move on to section 11. This is the chin area, and you know, his face started to get a little bit cool and it was a little bit pulley, tuggy on his hair, so I went ahead and put another hot towel on, and now we're ready to do section 11. This section just goes freehand across the chin, and you can have them tighten their chin, especially if they have a little dimple. Sometimes you'll need them to tighten up their face a little bit to get in there, and you'll just go all the way across until it's meeting up with section 2. Once section 11 is finished, you will start on your section 12, and this section you will be doing freehand, and you'll be standing right to the side of them but looking right at it like I am here, and you just go down. And this spot can be extremely scary because you're right there by their arteries on their neck, and you do not want to cut anyone's neck open, so be extremely careful. I'm not trying to scare you. You shouldn't be too scared as long as you're being gentle and having the right pressure. Section 13 is reverse freehand once again, and you're just going to do small sections because it is really round here. Sometimes men have large Adam's apples that you need to be cautious of, and stretch the skin however you can around to make sure you're getting all of the hair and not cutting or hurting their skin. So this should meet up with section 12, and as soon as section 13 is done, you are ready for your last section right below the bottom lip, section 14. I'm just cleaning up a few little neck hairs that I see down here. Now section 14, this one can be a little bit tough to get also. I usually have them tighten their lip up like this. And if you missed a little bit of your section 11, you can go in and clean that up really fast. Sometimes it's hard to see what you need to take off, and that's okay if you need to go a little bit reverse, but okay, this is reverse freehand. So we're starting from the already shaved section and we're going to go straight up. Be very careful not to cut their lip, of course, obviously. I don't even know why I have to say that. And if you need to add extra gel, go ahead and do that so that it glides easily. The hair here can be a little bit coarse sometimes. You'll get a feel for the tension, and see here I have to have him tighten his lip a little bit more to make sure that it's super tight because we want to get close shave for this. All right, so that is the first pass. Now you'll need to go in and do a second pass to get a really super close shave, and on this second pass you can go opposite of the hair growth. All right, so on the second pass I start over on the right side of the neck and I just shave from the very bottom of the neck all the way up, and I keep doing that pattern all the way across the face, as you can see. And this is against the grain of the hair as we just go up. And once I get to that, oh, Jarvie's laughing. Sorry, ignore that. Once I get to that roll of the neck, I must have said something funny here. I wish I could remember. You just keep going up, and I was probably joking about cutting his jugular, so I'm glad he thinks that's funny. But we just keep gliding up, and this is against the grain of the hair. Okay, so this is section 3. So there's just 3 sections along the neck all the way up to the middle part of the cheek. You're going to push the blade towards the corner of the mouth, just like this. And it just gives it a different angle to catch any of those hairs that might not have gotten it. And then up on the lip, you're going against the grain also. And make sure you're adding more gel if you need to. Get a nice glide on there. And stretching the skin, so important on the second pass. The tighter you stretch the skin, the closer the shave. So make sure you're doing a really good job with the stretch. Okay, section 9, we're going to go over onto the other side of the neck, just like we did on sections 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and glide up the face, or glide up the neck, making sure we're stretching down on that curve of the face, and all the way up. You can see the hair grows down by the sideburns, so I'm shaving up. If you need to use the towel, if it gets a little too slippery, go ahead and do that, because stretching is so important. I cannot stress that enough. And one thing I remember Scott saying while we were doing this is he was surprised about how it didn't hurt. He just expected this to be a very painful experience, and he said, I can't even feel anything. They should not be able to feel anything except for a piece of metal gliding across their skin. It should not be pulling. You shouldn't be seeing a lot of blood. A teeny bit of blood is okay if it's just a little bit coming out of a pore here and there. But if you have blood coming out enough to bead up, you need to stop and put some talc powder on it so that the bleeding stops, and make sure that you sanitize all of your equipment. Like I said, if the little teeny pores are barely turning red, then it's just a little bit of irritation, and it can be taken care of with some aftershave. Now we are going across the chin. Now this is the same direction as we did before. All right, section 19, 20, and 21 are just going the same direction on the lip as we did before. It's just the second pass will really help it to be a little bit cleaner. Anywhere that you see the hair or if it can feel the hair still sticking out, you can go over again just to smooth it out a little bit. And you finish it up by doing the other side of the lip. And you're going to go the opposite direction that it grows. All right, so now I'm going to wash all of the excess gel off, and I'm going to use the Easy Blade Aftershave Lotion. Now this is going to seal up and close all of his pores, take care of any little irritation that he might have.
It's like the smoothest part of my body right now.
TMI.
Good to know.
No, okay. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of a straight edge razor shave on a man's face. And this is the beautiful, talented, sweet girl that's letting me use her salon. And she has an amazing decorating sense of, you know, everything in here is so cute. I love the broken light. Oh, this one? That's okay. But she has a company called Styling Sense that she actually comes into people's homes and helps them decorate, because it can be really hard. Like for me, sometimes it's really hard. I'm pretty sure you're going to be coming into my house when it's done to help me. And so yes, you can just go to her Facebook page, Styling Sense, right?
Yep, or stylingsense.com.
They have a blog. They have a blog too, right?
Yeah.
And so yeah, her and another lady, Shelly, who is amazing also, they do it together. So yeah, give her some love for letting me borrow her salon, you guys. That's what's making all these videos possible. So thank you, Camille.
Yeah, no problem.
And thank you, Scott, for letting me shave your face and not cutting your jugular.
No, good job.
That was a little scary. I haven't done it for a while.
I'm gonna be going like this all day long.
And I hope you guys subscribe to my channel and tell everyone you know. And leave a comment and let me know if you have ever shaved a face and if you are ever going to try it. Let me know your fears and let's see if we can help you guys out. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye. Surprise! I am crazy and I painted all of the numbers on my face in the sections so that you could see what I was talking about in the video. Hopefully this helps. It was really interesting drawing all the numbers backwards on my face. And I forgot to tell you guys that Scott Jarvie has an amazing photography channel, so go and subscribe to him right now. Then there's the triple handlebar soul patch, because 3 is always better than 1.
It's kind of like whiskers.
And he looks a little bit like a cat, and it's kind of killing me.